everyone, in this video I am going to talk about the present simple. Yes, about present simple, which is the main part of the grammar. Of course, we know that grammar is not directly tested in the IELTS exam, but you have to know grammar very well in order to get higher result in the IELTS. And also, we know that grammar accounts for 25% of the overall writing and speaking score. So, besides improving your vocabulary, ideas and fluency, you have to also improve your vocabulary. And today in this video, I'm going to talk about the present simple and explain the reasons why we use the present simple and also the cases we use present simple. Let's get started and watch why we use present simple. The simple present or present simple, it doesn't matter how you say, we use this verb in order to show the repetition or a habit or generalization. If you are talking about an action that happens regularly or repeatedly, in this case, we use present simple. Or if you give general information about you or about anything, in this case, again, you have to use the present simple. For example, you can say, I play tennis, or I go to university every day, or I watch TV in my free time. You see, in this kind of sentences, somehow we try to give general information about general activities we do in our daily life. In a word, if you talk about the actions that happen regularly in your life or in someone's life, you use the present simple. By the way, in the speaking module, in the first and third part, when the instructor asks you general questions related to any general activity or any action, in this case, don't forget to make your sentences in the present simple. For example, if the question is, what do you like to do in your free time? You should make your sentences in present simple and you have to say, generally in my free time I like to watch TV or I watch TV. You shouldn't use other tenses, you have to only use present simple as you just give general information about your daily life. Besides this case, also we use the present simple when we talk about the facts or truths. In a word, if you give information and you believe that this information is correct, in this case, you have to make your sentences in the present simple. For example, imagine the sentence is, the earth goes around the sun. So, actually we know that this is happening right now, but we know that it is fact and it used to be like that in the past, and it is like this now, and also it will be the same in the future. So it means it is a fact, and that's why we shouldn't say the earth is going around the sun. We have to make our sentences in the present simple as we are talking about the facts. Or I can also tell other examples as, let's say, cats like milk. Again, here we just talk about a fact. Or you can tell when you can use present simple when you talk about, again, generalization. Okay? For example, you say students don't have much more money. So it is a fact somehow, or it is a generalization. So that's why we use the present simple. Okay, now let's talk about the next case. We use the present simple when we talk about permanent actions or long-term actions or plans. Imagine you are a teacher and you work permanently, or you are planning to work for a long period of time. In this case, without any doubt, you have to make your sentences in the present simple and you have to say, I work as a teacher. Or let's look at other examples. For example, my uncle lives in England, or she works as a doctor. Okay, so we understood that we use the present simple when we talk about habits or when we talk about permanent actions. But of course there are completely other types of cases that we use the present simple, and one of them is about giving instructions. Imagine, for example, you are in the street walking with your friends and talking, and some people come to you and ask for the address or for the location. In this case, in order to explain or show the address, you have to make your sentences in the present simple. let's look at the examples. For example, you go down to the traffic lights and then turn left. You see, we just only use the present simple. Or let's look at other example. Sometimes on the internet we just see these kind of instructions, and these instructions are given in the present simple. For example, for more information, click the link below. By the way, when you talk about films, movies or books, in this case, you have to also make your sentences in the present simple. Let me explain like this. Imagine, for example, in the speaking test, in the second part of speaking test, the instructor asks you to describe a film you like to watch with your family or your friends. And then you just find a film to talk about and start to talk. And don't forget, when you describe the film, you have to make all of your sentences in the present simple. For example, you say, a boy kills his friend. Here, your sentence should be made in the present simple. Okay, let's now look at better examples, positive example. For example, you can say, in this film, lady falls in love with her teacher. You see? Good example. And here also we make our sentences in the present simple. Okay, now I'm going to talk about more important part of this video, about fifth case. It is about the future activities. And I think that the majority of students are not aware of this case. So, listen carefully. We also use the present simple when we talk about the scheduled events in the future. Especially when you are talking about public transportation, about examination, or about the lessons, in a word, about any activity or actions that you know time beforehand, you have to make your sentences in the present simple. Let's look at now examples, and in this case, you will understand it better. For example, you say, the party starts at 8 o'clock. You cannot tell the party will start at 8 o'clock because it is scheduled event and we know the time beforehand, and that's why we have to use the present simple. Or maybe another example is, the bus arrives at 11 a.m. today. So here again we know the time because it is scheduled event. That's why we use the present simple in our sentences. We also use the present simple with certain adverbs. And of course, if we know these adverbs, we can easily understand which tense to use. These adverbs are, for example, always, usually, often, frequently, rarely, once, twice. Usually, with this kind of adverbs, we use the present simple. For example, you say, I always drink water in the early morning. Or she usually doesn't watch TV at night. So you see here, we just use these adverbs and we make our sentences in the present simple. But of course, it doesn't mean that we have to always use the present simple with this kind of adverbs, because sometimes there are some exceptions, and with these adverbs also we can use other types of tenses. So always try to understand why we use the present simple. In this case, you cannot make mistake. Finally, we use the present simple with state verbs. State verbs don't describe an action. They describe the state, and they are verbs such as like, dislike, love, hate, see. These kind of verbs are state verbs. Of course, I will explain and talk about state verbs and also their types in the near future, but anyway, don't forget to use the present simple with state verbs. Let's look at the examples. I want tea. She likes watching TV. He sees clearly, and so on. That's all for today, and of course that's all about the present simple. If you understand all the cases, in which cases we use the present simple, in this case, believe me, you are not going to make any mistake in this section. By the way, I have already attached PDF file containing material, exercise with answers. After watching this video, please download the material and work, and then after check your answers and work on your mistakes. So I hope by doing this you can improve your grammar and also as a result get higher results. Thank you for watching. See you.